teacher and therapist. And today we are here for a workshop, a live workshop, which I call Yoga Got Your Back. So, in today's workshop, the agenda today is that we talk about in detail that how and why we are getting this back pain and why it's happening so much around, everyone, every second person is having such issue, whether they are in their early young age or they're in mid age or our elderly people, why it's happening so commonly. So we will talk in detail what are the conditions, what are the situations, and then we will talk a bit about the anatomy of the body, like which part is important for our this, especially the lower back area, because this is the most vulnerable part in the body where we have, considering the whole spine, this lower back area is the most vulnerable. And then we will look into some poses, some postures, some movements in detail with anatomy again, with understanding of alignment. And post that, we will be, looking into some of your questions that you may have. So without getting further, let's get started. So if I talk about, the back pain, so why it's happening? The first question arises why it is so common these days that every second person is having. So this question, if you think clearly with your mind, it's because of our lifestyle, right? It's so true that our lifestyle today is getting we are getting used to of things. We are in so much comfort zone, and we are so stressed because it can be anything. It can be because of our work. It can be because of our personal lives. So we are not considerate enough, and we are so consumed by our emotions that we get stuck into these loops of our emotions, our what we call as the mental implications. So let's think about this. Let's say a person who is going for office, he's sitting there and he is not in the mood of work today. So what he is doing, he's forcing himself to do the work. And what's happening in the body that time, because his mind is in stress. So that mind, because the mind is in stress and he's working, he's sitting there for at least 8 to 10 hours, and then the body is taking the toll of that stress on itself. The body means our muscles, our joints, our bones, everything, our hormones. So whichever the physical form is consist of, so that takes the stress. And then that when this happens, then we kind of start to loosen up. We kind of start to lose the strength and lose the stretching part of the body. It gets so rigid, it gets so, in a shell that we are not able to compensate that loss. And then over time we are overdoing these things, right? We are in this situation every day. It's not just the work, it's just an example for you guys, but it's like it's everywhere. It's happening so commonly that whether we are going to office, whether we are doing something which is we don't want to do, so we are so stressful, we are forcing ourselves to do those things. And let's say a person who is just just sitting there, but he's not present at that moment. His awareness is somewhere else completely, to another world, to another space, and he's sitting with his body, but actually he's sitting here with his physical body in this present moment, but the mind is somewhere else. So what happens when you sit without awareness? You either start to, bend yourself, you start either go on one side like this, or maybe you just lie down with your hand under your head, right? And without awareness, it just so happened that we stay in this position. Let's say I'm bending, I'm thinking something, I'm just sitting. Even if I watch TV or something, I just sitting like this, and it's been like half an hour or so, and then I realize quickly, oh, I got a pain, and then I start to straight it up. So these things I'm talking about, this is our lifestyle has become right now, and why the yoga come into role that it can help us. Why we are calling this workshop as Yoga Got Your Back? Because yoga is all about awareness. It's about learning. It's about be in ourselves, be in the present moment. This is the pure concept of yoga. It's not about some magic thing will happen to you guys, and just because you are practicing the poses and your lower back pain will just go away like this. No, it won't happen, because you need to learn the authentic part of yoga. You need to learn the basics of yoga. So that's how we are going to learn today in this workshop. That's what we are going to do, practice together. So don't worry and just stay in the practice, stay in this workshop throughout, and you will, see that you will see the things clearly. More, your vision will get more clear that how and what to do. So this is one thing I told you, that why it's happening with us. And now let's consider why and how yoga can help in this. First thing I told you about awareness. Secondly, you all know that even the doctors, even the if you go to a physician or a osteo, they will tell you that you practice yoga for some time and then we can look into other options. Why are they saying this? Because I've seen so many students who come to me and say, my doctor is suggesting me to do yoga. So why it's happening? Because they realized it that yoga offers postures which we call asanas. It's a scientific way to practice the physical health of the body, and it is given by us to our ancient sages and saints, and they were pure scientists in a way that they realized these things in their meditations, in their with practicing their gurus. So this is a scientific way to improve the whole anatomy of our body. And today we are going to learn these poses. So poses are, if we call let's say asana. So how does Patanjali Rishi describing the asana? He describes it so beautifully in Patanjali Yoga Darshan. He said, "Sthir Sukham Asanam." So what is sthir? Sthir means stable, which is stable and which is constant in a moment. And sukham means happiness, bliss. And asan is again the posture. So sthir sukham asana means one pose where you can hold, where you can stay in complete stability, complete harmony. That is one asana. So if let's say if I'm sitting in this posture, I can sit here for hours and without any discomfort, without any pain, without any sensation in my body, I can sit for hours because I'm practicing. So this is how we achieve. So this only can be achieved with the practice. So sthir sukham asana means that we are making our body adjustable. We are acquiring such strength, then we can observe the state of bliss in one posture. We are completely uh, here with awareness. It's not that we are sitting here without awareness. We are sit I'm if I'm sitting here, I'm sitting with awareness. My spine is straight, my legs are nicely open, my face of the pelvis, my hip joint is nicely open. I'm completely rested here. So I can sit here with a great duration of time. I can sit without any discomfort. So that is my asana. And so we have many asanas, not just one. We have like uh, uncountable. They are just galaxy of asanas, I can say. And they are, some of them are really good if you practice with awareness again, for your lower back, for your entire spine actually, because the spine is like a one pathway for our energy moving in the body. It's like you can consider it as the this powerhouse is here, our nervous system, and that powerhouse is sending the neurons and the whole signals through the spine, because in the spine we have the spinal cord, which is our, again, very important part of our nervous system. Every movement which is happening in the body, if I'm moving my fingers, if I'm moving my hand, it's because my brain is sending signal to here, because I am, my intellect is deciding there, and then the nervous system is sending signal through that spine, through that spinal cord. So that's how this is happening. So this is one thing that yoga offers, which is asana. And the second thing that we can consider is that can help the any problem, especially, let's say, stress, because I told you that the one thing which is causing this problem is stress, right? So which how can we deal with the stress with yoga? So yoga offers meditation. Yoga offers concentration. So you sit, when you gain your asana, when you gain the posture, which you can sit in longer duration, then you move into meditation. You chant your own, mantra. If you have, you focus on one point, one object, then increase your belief, increase your faith in that practice. Just be completely consumed in the practice and do with your pure heart. Then you will see, then you will realize actually the benefits of the meditation, the concentration. And that's how you again relate yourself to you. I mean, you connect back to yourself, and then you feel, then you visualize that this is what is happening with me, and this is the cause. So you start to work on those cause, and when you start to work on those cause, then there is effect, right? So cause and effect. So that's how we yoga offers more health, more wellness against any problem, I would say. But today we are focusing on back problems. So that's how we going to practice. So now let's look into the anatomy part. Okay. So the third thing I said that we will look into is anatomy. So anatomy is the position of the body, how the body is constructed. So our body is such a complex mechanism. It's one machine that even the scientists still looking into the new possibility. And every time they dig into this complex mechanism, they found something new. They find something incredibly new, or with more opportunity they find every time. So let's consider our this whole spine area. So what things that we should look into? Our spine is not just the spine. It's not like a bony structure that is there. It is connected with so many things. There is so many muscles around this. There is so many joints and ligaments around it that we have to think about before we are moving into the practice of asanas, before we understand the movement. So to improve your posture, to improve your back health, your spine health. So there are few things that you should consider. So first thing is obviously your vertebra of your spine, that are the bones of your spine. And if I'm specifically talking about the lower back, so that our lower back has five bones, five vertebrae, which we call lumbar vertebrae. Okay, so this region, our lower back region, if I show you from the back, specifically from this part, the lumbar spine. All right. So we have the five bones only in this part, and that is called the lumbar region. So in this lumbar region, the first thing I told you with anatomy that we have to consider about this, then we have, our muscles around these bones. The second thing that we need to consider is about these muscles that we have. Third thing is that our core, all right, is the spine is not just there itself. Spine is connected with the muscles of our here, our abdominal muscle. This area is also very important. Fourth is our hip joint area. Okay, So the spine is rooted into this hip joint. It's like it's coming and then there is a base, and then the spine is now moving deeper into this structure, which is our hip joint, which we call this our this whole hip joint area. And then the fifth thing is our this front muscle, hip flexors, which we call. Let me show you from this side. So this area, this front, you can also call it as front thigh. Which, if I call it technically, then this is called hip flexor. Okay, so this is another very important area which we will be working on today as well. So, and the sixth area, the last and the very important, which is our hamstrings. These everybody know, I guess, about hamstrings. So these are again a great way to to release the tension from your lower back, because these hamstrings are reaching here. I mean, they are starting and then they're reaching, and they are so rigid. When we are sitting for longer duration, we compress these muscles. They are become so, they get so rigid and they get so stiff that they create tension in our lower back. They send these signals to the lower back, and that's how we get the pain. So today, these things that we just looked into anatomically, so we will be practicing these things, and I want to also share with you guys that it's sometimes people come to me that for therapy session or for these kind of lower back pains, they have some injury or they have the condition. So I want to talk about few conditions as well, which we mentioned in our workshop creative that you must see. So one thing which is commonly happen today is the herniated disc or bulging of disc or slip disc. You might heard of these terms. So slip disc. So I told you that we have the five bones, right? And in between those five bones, we have a disc. So at least actually they are in every in between of every vertebra of our spine. So we have like 33 vertebrae. So in those we have the we have the disc. So in those discs are like you can think of them as a liquid form of a sponge which is there in between your vertebra to stop the compression, to stop the to soak the absorption, actually to soak the any kind of it's like just a shocker. Okay, if there is a shock, this disc can absorb that shock and it provide the cushioning in between your bones. Let's consider this thing. Let's say the bones are two hard things. Okay, if they will collide together, there will be so much sound, right? And that sound, just imagine how much pain can it give you. So to absorb that shock, there is this, pulpy thing, a cushion thing in between your bones, the vertebrae. So this disc provide, again I told you, and they also provide you, the weight bearing that if the disc is secure and healthy, our weight of the spine, which is a long standing spine, it can be it is so manageable that if the spine is healthy, discs are healthy, so the weight is distributed equally and the spine is in natural curve. So spine has curves as well. As we all know, spine is not just like a straight stick. We have the curves, which are the natural curves. So one curve is at our lower back, one curve is our mid back, and then one curve is at our neck area. So we have the three curves, right? So these curves are the natural curves which we developed through time, through our movements in daily life, and again it can be distorted if we are stressed, if we are less movable in throughout the day. So we need to consider that this disc herniation, this slip disc, is happening because either we met an injury where we hit our back in some way, and that the disc portion got stimulated, and it kind of buzzed out, it kind of moving out of those shell. So this soft part, this jelly like part, have a shell around it which hold it there, which do not let it come out. But let's say if you met an injury where you hit your back hard, so that shell is, again, which is not that hard, it's very soft. So that shell breaks, and from that break, that liquid part comes out, and then that liquid part touch our nerves. So we have the nerve in entire body, right? We have nerves everywhere. So nerves are there as well at your spine area, at your lower back area. So that liquid part touches our nerves, and that creates the pain. And this is one reason. Another reason can be if let's say if you're lifting a weight and you are not present there, and you lifted and you took all the weight on your back, right? You lifted with you were bending forward, and then I want to show you. So let's say there is a heavy thing in front of you, and you just bend forward like this, and you try to, lift it like this, and when you stand, the whole weight is coming on your spine, right? Can you see? But if you could just bend your knee and then you started to come up, then the weight was on your legs, on your arms. But so we were bending forward like this, and then we were moving that object up, so that natural curve of our spine got lost. And because it lost, and we were lifting the weight as well, so that shell around our you know disc, it got the break, and then this came out. That's one scenario. Another scenario is you are not moving at all, you are just sitting, and you're not doing any stretches or any strengthening exercises. And with time, your disc, you know, gets to, it kind of getting dry with time. This is one another condition which we call stenosis. So this is also happening with people, that the disc portion, this liquid portion, it's getting dry up, and it happens with age as well. So this is one thing, which is natural. You can't do much about it. So if you are in your mid 40 or 50, then if it is happening with you, then you can do the movement. You should do the movement. You should do the asana part, and that's how you can make your spine healthy. Another thing is which we majorly see in today's days is spondylitis. So spondylitis is inflammation in our this vertebra area, and that inflammation causes pain. And with time, with wrong movements that we do, with wrong exercises, with lifting heavy weights, with do not with not enough care, that inflammation gets worse and worse, and that's how you get the pain. So these are the few conditions that we just understood. You can always come to the Utsav studio, or you can join through the live sessions to understand more about these conditions. And so now let's look into the poses itself. What movement that we can do for our lower back area to keep it healthy, to keep it strong and movable. So there are two things. One is stretching, second is strengthening. So stretching releases, strengthening build the muscles that provide the strength to the whole structure, so that it hold together. It just stays together. It doesn't fall apart. All right. So these two things are very important. So we are going to look into both of the things separately, or maybe just one another thing correlated to each other. So we will be practicing in such a way. I'll be guiding you through the pose, but with a detailed uh, guidance, detailed description of pose, of the benefits, of the targeted area where it should target the most. So these are the few things that we will look into today. So let's get started. So the first pose that I want to share with you is the famous cat and cow stretch. So this pose, many people are doing it, but let's say without correct alignment, there is not much of use for the pose itself. So let's understand how we are practicing this cat and cow pose. So have you observed like the spine of a cat and a cow? Have you noticed? So the cat spine is like a rounded spine, right? They kind of, when the cat gets angry, because it's the nature of the cat, if you know, they get angry, and they compress their spine, so they round the spine like this. And if you see the cow, say they are so docile, they are so calm in the nature. They always look for like this kind of arch in their spine. They always have this arch. So it developed because of the nature. So we are not looking for the nature, but we are adding these two movements in our spine to kind of make it in a way. All right. So both the things. We are also expanding, we are also arching, and we are also flexing, we are also rounding our spine. So first we come here in a tabletop position. So we are on our palms and knees, fingers are wide open, and our wrists are exactly under the shoulder, our knees are exactly under the hips. Okay, so first you are here in a neutral spine. You see, there is not much of any arch in my spine, it's completely straight, like a tabletop. This is why we call it a tabletop position. Okay, so if I put an object here, it won't fall because I have a neutral spine. So now let's see the movement. So first you inhale and think of you are moving your belly button, your navel down towards the mat, and you are expanding your chest forward, look forward. So you are becoming a cow-like. Your spine is now a cow-like position. You are in arch position. Your shoulders are away from the ears. I see people that they do this. You shouldn't do this. Your shoulders should be away from your ears. Your elbow must be straight. And when you exhale, now you see the curve was there, and now I exhale and I start to round my spine, and the round is happening again from my tailbone, from the last bone of my spine till the neck, till the this axis of our vertebra. So let's say we are here now. This is a cat kind of spine, and then we add this in a moment. Inhale, arch, exhale, round. Inhale, arch. You feel the expansion in your front body. Exhale, round. So another very important thing is I see people, they when they uh, round the spine, they take their hips back, and then the shoulder comes out of from over your wrist. And what's happening here? So you see whole lot of compression is generating at this part. So you have to be forward here. The weight should be on your palms, on your fingertips, and your shoulder must be at all times. It should be on over on top of your wrist. Okay. So when you exhale, you round. When you inhale, you arch. Your shoulder are not moving. Exhale, inhale. All right. Now you see the correct alignment, and this pose, this movement, you can do like at any time. All right. It doesn't require that you are doing a practice or not. So this pose, this move, you can do at any time whenever you feel a lot of compression in your back. You can do it anytime, and believe me, it's gonna help you. It's gonna really make your all the tension at your lower back and your upper, even your entire spine go away. So this is the one pose. Now, in this only, let's say when we are, I don't know if you guys there and you have that feeling, but a lot of people, when they have the low back area, they feel like something is compressing the sides, these areas. They feel stiffness. They feel like something is pressing inside, and that's how we call these muscles the side obliques muscle. If we stretch these muscles, it gives a great soothe relaxation to our whole spine. So this is what we are looking into right now. That people will do this when they are feeling back pain. You will often see that they will do they will go like this and this, but actually it's good if your spine is actually strong enough, it's healthy enough. But if you are in pain, then doing this, doing going to the side can create more problems. Actually, it can create more pain because the disc, or if you are in let's say if you are in slip disc condition and the discs are already, they are popping out, the spine muscles are weak, so the condition can get worse. All right, so you need to understand that you need to do it with the grounding. And the grounding and the safe position is when you are down with your body, with your limbs. Okay, so my hands are down, my knees are down. So let's look how we can stretch the side muscle. So let's take one leg back like this. So let's say if I'm taking my left, if I'm doing with my left, I'm taking it to the right side far back. All right. And then I come to this side and look towards my toes, my heel. So can you see? I'm getting the whole lot of stretch in this area. So you look back like this. So this is one stretch that you can do to release the tension in your lower back. Good. So let's stay for 5 breaths and then change. Take it this side, far back. It's not that you are just there. You're taking the foot to the other side and back, and then you go to one side, this, and look towards your heel, towards your toes. So now I'm getting the stretch to the other side. So stay here, breathing in and out. 4, 3, 5 deep breaths, remember. 2, and 1. Good. Coming back. Now, alignment is considered when every vertebra, they are in you know a whole synchronized way. It's not a straight line. The curves are there, but they are in nice vertical shape. That's the correct alignment. And to achieve that alignment, this is one pose which we call puppy pose or shushusana. So you practice like this, keeping your knees exactly under your hips. Bring your arms forward, and now with exhale, try to melt your heart, melt your chest down, bring your forehead down. Okay, so you see my whole spine is nice alignment, is in nice shape. My neck is soft, my lower back is relaxed because I'm on knees. The body is supported with my limbs. My back, this upper back is opening as I'm melting down. And let's hold here. I'm pretty sure you will feel the difference in this pose. Breathe in and out through your belly. In and out. In and out. Breathing in and out. So you can, and again, you can stay here 5 to 10 breaths and then come back. So these are the things that we considered the first thing in our anatomical body, which we talked about the lumbar region. There are many poses, but the time is so limited. But I wanna I wanna give you like every what like one pose for every anatomical part. Let's say this was for the our lumbar area. Now I wanna give you about your core to make it strong because there is and to stretch. So these are the two poses that you should practice. So first is the plank to gain the endurance in your core to build the strength in the core. So plank is a one great way to achieve that. So plank either can be done on your elbows and on your palms, but the elbows, the forearm ones, are more safe to do, as if you are starting. If you are doing the practice for some time, then you can do on the palms as well. I will show you the variation. So for that, you extend your body in one straight line and then lift your knees up, stay on your toes, stay on your uh, forearms. So now to understand the alignment, what's happening here, I see many people because of less strength in their body, less strength in their lower body, what they do is when they go in a pose, they do like this. They arch their back too much. And then the weight is coming on the lower back, and that is worsening the condition. So we have to avoid this. So how can we do it? So you see, we first stay here and then we tuck our tailbone here like this. Can you see? This is a one movement that you should practice. You arch like we were doing in a cat cow and you round. Arch and round very gently, not too much, not too much round, not too much arch, very minor or very fine arch, very fine round. Okay, so this is called nutation. If I tell you the technical term, it's called nutation. So this is like nutation, and this is counter nutation. So when you are there in a counter nutation with a straight spine, then you try to lift your knees up and then straight spine, straight body. You're not lifting your hips too high. You are here with a straight body, and that's how you are targeting the muscles of your core, of your abdomen area. All right, so this one pose that we should do, and if you are not there, if you can't achieve the pose, you can always use help. So I'm showing you how with this block, if you have a pillow, a round pillow, a long pillow that you can take the use. If you have two pillows which are small, so you can stack two pillows together and then do. So just think of these as an object which you can put under, and then you come here, you support your belly on this. All right, so the belly is rested, and now I feel that my body weight is on this, so the spine, I suppose my spine is already straight, right? So when I'm there and then I try to lift my knees up, see, the weight is on my block now. It's not much on my either my lower back or my hands or my legs. But what we are going to do if we are, here, then slowly and gently we squeeze the hips, squeeze the buttocks, and then lift slightly, not too much. Keep the shoulder exactly over your elbows all the time, and then go down and release. So you can practice this 5 to 10 times. Okay, inhale, lifting, not too high, not too much. You were there, so you just stay here, squeeze your buttocks, and then exhale, drop it down. So practice this 5 to 10 times in your own timing. This will really help to increase the strength in your core. Now, second, we are doing to stretch this whole area, this abdominal muscles that we have. So for that, Yoga offers you Bhujangasana or upward facing dog, so which we call Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Bhujangasana. So if you are not in in the position to lift yourself completely up, so you can do this Bhujangasana. Keep your feet together. This is very important. Your feet are together, toes are pressing down. So these toes are pressing down. Your thighs are rolling in, squeezing your hips, pressing your hand down, just like in a push-up position, and then you lift your chest up. Okay? Lift your chest up till the point where your navel is touching the mat. And now breathe in and out through your belly. This is one great pose to build the strength in your lower back, stretch your front of your abdominal muscles. Breathe in and out. Keep pressing your toes down, keep squeezing your hips. All right, you can stay here 5 to 10 breaths and practice 5 times with 5 to 10 breaths each. And if you are practicing for long, then you can do this as well. You can straight your arms, straight your elbows, and then lift your knees up. Okay? Fingers are wide, shoulders are back, squeeze your buttocks still, and stay here. This is Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or upward facing dog in English. You are creating the shape of a body like a dog when they are stretching their body. Okay, so you stay here strong. This will is happening. What is happening in this pose that you are stretching this area and you are also strengthening the muscles of your lower back. So this is again happening with you to help the lower back problem. And now let's move into the third part, which we were focusing, which is our this front area. So for that, we have one best option, which is lunge, or we call Ashwasanchalan Asana or Anjaneya Asana. So you come here. First, you drop your hands down, slide your back knee as much as you can, and then consider that the stretch is coming here. All right, stretch is coming here, and you're here. So this is one great way to stretch these hip flexor area. All right. So if you are beginner, you are here. That's all good. And if you are doing practice, so this there is one variation which we call Anjaneyasana. So now you bring torso in the center. Now you distributed the weight on both the legs equally. Okay. You are not like going forward too much and dropping the weight on your right knee too much, the or whichever leg is forward. You're not dropping the weight on your knee. You're not like this. So your foot is all time under your knee. All right, that is very important. Now let's consider this. You are not arching your spine too much. You're not pressing it down. Instead, I want you to tuck your tailbone, the nutation movement I told you, right? So this is nutation, this is counter nutation. So we need to do the counter nutation again, and then we bring the pelvis down. This whole area, which is pelvis, we are bringing it down without arching our spine too much. And you will notice with doing this way, you are getting whole stretch here from this point till your knee. This is our hip flexor area, or we call it quadriceps muscle of our leg. And let's stay here. Both the legs strong. Keep pressing your foot down, toes down, knee down. All right. So this is one way you can take both the palms on your knee and stay here, breathing in and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're feeling comfortable, then you can take your arms up as well and stay here strong. But keep reminding yourself that the stretch is there. If you are getting too much of pain or too much, if you are tired, then obviously you need to come out. So you press your hands down and come here. All right. So this was the one way to stretch. Let's do from the other leg as well. So this time you take your left foot forward. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Ashwasanchalanasana. Now we come into Anjaneyasana. Again in center, we do this counter nutation movement, making the spine straight completely, not arching like this, straight. And from there, either you bring your palms here on your knees, keep bringing the stretch on the front thigh of your right leg, breathing and out, in and out. Or if you're comfortable, take your arms up. Keep practicing, keep breathing, keep stretching the right front thigh, or if you want to call these are hip flexors. Breathing in and out. 2 and 1. Exhales, release softly. Come back, and now let's relax in child's pose. So, child pose is again a one way to decompress the our spine, lower back, or entire spine. So, this way, this is child's pose, Balasana. So, you relax like a child, okay? Either you take your hands back, relax your shoulder on your knees, or you can take them forward as well, like this. All right. This is one great way to also calm down your mind because you are receiving more blood flow towards your head, which kind of stimulate your parasympathetic system. Our parasympathetic system is to make us calm, to make us more present. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming back up. All right. Now the we are looking into another part which we talked before, which is our hip joint area, the foundation of our spine. Like remember, I told you the spine is a one straight, structure which with curves, and then there is this base, and which holding our spine. So we are going to practice for our these hip joint. Okay, so hip joint again, the nutation one is very important. So you do the nutation and the counter nutation. So to show that nutation movement, I want to show you one good way to do it. You can grab a pillow, or if you have the block, that's great. So what we are going to do, you take this block inside of your thighs, all right, and then from there, bring your thumbs on these two edgy bones. I'm sure you will feel them if you touch them here. Okay, keep your feet together like this. If you are feeling comfortable here, stay there. But if you can come all the way with your toes together, heels slightly apart, that's great. All right, let me show you from the side. So now what's happening is you are squeezing your this block or the pillow if you have. So this give the sense to make our lower body strong. Otherwise, let's say it is not there, okay, and you are standing, so you don't have much sense that what is happening in our legs. You don't have that much sensation. One thing is because you have the low back condition, the pain is there, and your all the awareness is there. Okay, and second thing is because our bodies develop in such way that some of the weight all the time it comes to our lower back. So we have to build the sense, we have to build that awareness, and this is one great tool to build that awareness is when we pressing this pillow or any object that you have in between your thighs, in between your legs. It just right there in this moment, it gives you the sense that, oh, I have my legs. You feel your legs when you press it. Okay? So when you feel them, now bring your thumbs on these two edgy bones and we do the same thing. We do the nutation, we do the counter nutation. Can you see the movement happening? You do this and this and this. You inhale. You are not taking your hips like this. You're not going like this. It's very minor. It's very fine. Very macro movement. All right. So you this. Also, you have to look for elongation of your spine. Always think of lengthening of your spine before doing any movement. I would say whether you're bending forward, whether you're bending back or side, always find the length in your spine first, then do the movement. Okay. So first, try to length in your spine, and then inhale this very gentle arch, exhale, tuck, arch, tuck. Keep doing this. So this will give you the sense of how to do. Okay. So I want you to remember this moment and do it with me in one pose that we are going to do next. Okay. So try to bring your awareness completely here. Save it in your memory for later. And then we will use this movement in one pose which we are going to do next. Alright. So this. Inhale gentle arch. Exhale down. You can also, do this practice again 20 to 30 times and any time in the day. It doesn't require any much like if you had your food or what, you can do it anytime. Okay. So I'm supposing that you have it in your memory, and now we are going to add this in this pose. So you lie down. All right. One major thing I want to share with people who are having low back pain that you shouldn't lie down like this straight. Okay, because if you do, the core doesn't have enough strength, so that now your back takes all the pressure. All right. So instead of that, whenever you let's say you are on your bed or you're lying down on the ground, so you always take one side. Okay. So let's say you are sitting on your bed. So you first go down on the side and then you roll yourself in the center. Okay. You need to add this in your awareness, in your attention all the time. Whenever you lie down, just go to the side first. All right. I'm supposing that you have that movement in your mind. All right. So now we are here. Our feet, heels are exactly under the knees. I can touch my ankles, my heels. Now we will add the same movement, okay, which we were doing before. So we inhale, arch, exhale, round, lift the hips slightly up. Inhale, arch, creating the space between our lower back and the mat. Very gentle, not too much, not too forward. It's very gentle happening. Exhale, inhale. And the moment you do it, you will realize the difference. If you are doing it correctly, you will feel that all the compression that was there, all the stiffness that was there before, with this movement, it's going away. You inhale, arch, exhale, round. Inhale and exhale. Again, you can do this, 20 to 30 times, breathing in and breathing in, you arch. Breathing out, you round, tuck your tailbone. Okay. So this is one great way. Now let's practice some of our poses to strengthen the muscles of our this glutes area, the hip muscles, and the lower back area. So for that we have bridge pose. Okay. So how we do the bridge pose? So traditionally we do it by holding our ankles or holding our fingers together. I will show you first the traditional one, but if you are not there, then I will show you a variation as well. Because I am supposing that if you are new to the yoga, if you're new to the practice, that then it won't be accessible to you. All right, so let's see. So you either catch your ankles and lift your hips high, squeeze your buttocks, or you interlace your fingers here, press your hands down, press your elbows, shoulders down, open your chest more, bring your chest towards your chin, press your heel down, toes down, and hold there. Okay? If you're not there, then there is one uh, great variation for you guys, and this is a dynamic variation. So you come onto your uh, upper arms or your elbows, make the fist out of your hand, and then you again arch, round, and then lift your hips up, squeeze your buttocks, exhale down. Okay, inhale, arch, exhale, round, and lift your buttocks, come down. So you do this like a wave is happening with your spine. Arch, round, up, hold for one or two breaths, come down. So you can do this 15 to 20 times with your own capacity, with your own strength. And once you do the all the rounds, then last you hold. Okay, so this is an isometric hold that you're doing, and you stay here, lift your hips as high as you can, keep pressing your arms down, keep pressing your heels, toes down. Okay, let's stay here, breathing in and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Okay, that's one great way. Now let's catch the knees, hold the knees, and stay here. Now you can choose to make the circles with your legs to massage your lower back. This will really again help to remove the compression, to release the tension, breathing in and out. Now let's go for opposite circle. Keep going and release. Alright. Now from here, this is one great way to stretch your hamstring, to stretch again your hip joint area, your pelvis area. So you hold on your knee, one knee at a time. Keep your other leg straight down. You can choose to take your hip muscles out and stay here, breathing in and out, breathing in and out. Your face is completely parallel towards ceiling. You're not arching your neck too much. Stay relaxed. So I have the flexibility in my hips and my hamstring. You may be here or here somewhere. That's completely fine. But just keep pulling. Keep pulling your knee towards your chest. That's one great soothing stretch. All right. Now let's change. Catch your other knee. Just keep it in mind that we have to do from both the sides. 3, 2, and 1. Now let's look into the one stretch for our hamstring, the final part of which we, need to be considered about that when we are practicing for our lower back for stretching. So this is one great way to stretch the hamstring. You can use something like a belt or like a cloth or maybe a dupatta or something, and then you just place that cloth, that belt on your foot, and you grab it from both the hands. Bring your elbows closer to you. Bring the elbows closer to your ribs, and now you pull. You pull your foot towards you. Keep your legs straight if you can. That's one great way. I'm sure you will feel a lot of stretch in this one. Breathing in and out, in and out. Your you shouldn't be cashed from here. Your shoulder must be relaxed, chest lifted, whole spine touching the mat. Alright, this is the right alignment. And keep stretching, toes facing towards you. Flex your toes. Four, three, two, and one. Release and change. So stretching your hamstring also releases the tension from your lower back. You have to make it a note in your mind, or if you want to note it down, you can note these poses down as well. So you can practice them at later. Breathing in and out. Let's stay here. Keep stretching. Try not to put too much of weight, too much of compression on your knee. Keep the knee soft. Breathing in and out. Four, three, two, and one. Softly release. Then let's go for a gentle twist. This is a one great way to end any practice. So you drop your both the knees to one side, face another. Press your knees down with your hand. Keep your knees stacked over each other. They are not like this. If both the knees are stacked over each other. Breathing in and out. Five, four, three, two, one. Twists are one great way to release the tension, to make your spine more supple, more healthy, more breathable. Look towards the other side. You will also get the stretch here on your belly. Four, three, two, and one. Good job. So now let's come sit. So these were few poses that uh, will help you if you practice continuously. That is the case. And if you practice them continuously and with correct alignment, with complete awareness with the poses, then they will really help you. And if you have any doubts, you can post in comments, and I will love to answer them. And if you have any further queries, you can, anytime come here in the studio, or you can go to the website. You can check all the info which is available there, and we would, love to answer all of your questions. So let's quickly look into all the comments if we have any. So let me just give me a moment. All right, guys. So if you have any further queries, you can just you know post it here, or maybe refer to our website. And if you have any further questions regarding to this practice or any of your condition, you can just straightly ask, and we would love to answer. We would love to help. So this was the practice for your lower back, and I really hope that you enjoyed, or it somehow helped your lower back condition. So with this note, I would say many blessings to you, many health. Namaste.